Hello there. Oh, my. Feels like I've been asleep for years. I suppose you're wondering what this is all about. I remember your aunt being just as surprised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Arbitrix. I am the master of the table and a prodigious teller of tales. And you, my friend, are about to embark upon quite the adventure. I hope you're ready. The storm came out of nowhere. The ship is on its way back to the biggest port in the Crown's Islands. Its voyage has been a success. The substantial treasure on deck was, let's say, acquired by 4 scoundrels who hired the ship for their venture. Who are they, you ask? Pick them up and see for yourself. This is Hammer, a violent thug who's really good at solving problems with her ironclad fists. If you want to know more about a scoundrel, place them on one of the plinths on the table edge near you. Thomas Turlinger, the apothecary, a genius of experimental potions with a rather questionable clientele. This one calls herself Nuna. Don't ask where she got her heretical and very illegal powers of dark sorcery. Introducing Horatio Ninelives the Thrice Blessed. The swindler came up with that name himself. As the storm swells, Captain Frost abandons the wheel, as her there at the rail shouting nonsense into the wind. The crew aren't happy. "They've bewitched the captain!" yells First Mate Barnabas. "And brought this storm upon us! We must take the ship for ourselves!" This is mutiny. A band of heroes would try and talk the crew around, but these are scoundrels. The best way they know to end a mutiny is to put it down. Hard. Time to fight. Each turn, you must spend all your yellow power pips to move, attack, or rest in order to defeat your foes. Move your scoundrel next to a foe. If you move too far, you'll begin to expend their power pips. Play this card on a foe within range to expend power pips and attack. One of the remaining crew comes up from below to join the fight. Another sailor comes on deck. Looks like the whole crew is in on the mutiny. The scoundrels will have to defeat them all. cook appears, cleaver in hand. That's all the sailors accounted for. The fight is nearly done. Hang in there. Play this card to expend the rest of your power pips and fortify your scoundrel. The mutineers, but you still need to regain control of this ship. There's a lot going wrong, and all your scoundrels will need to pitch in if they want any hope of surviving this storm. Try to choose the best scoundrel for each task. The more stars they contribute, the better. Place them on the skill checks and see for yourself. The captain has abandoned the wheel. Someone strong needs to steer the ship through this storm. Play this card on the skill check to attempt it. Take and roll the die to find out if you succeed. They strain against the wheel and manage to hold on, steering clear of the worst of the storm. The mast is creaking ominously. Someone fast needs to climb the rigging and trim those sails. Oh, success! They nimbly climbed up and trimmed the sails, slowing the ship and saving the mast. Well done! He's about to snap. Better get someone smart to tie a better knot. Well, at least it didn't break anything important. Let's hope you don't need a cannon anytime soon. Captain Frost is waving that pistol around with a mad gleam in her eye. Someone needs to talk sense to her. She lowers her gun. The storm. I heard it, calling out to me, my ship. Save my ship, or at least die trying. Something was influencing her, something in the storm. But there's no time to worry about that. You've done all you can for now. The ship's as safe as it can be. And just as well as a giant wave is about to roll over the deck. For impact! I've always wanted to say that. Unfortunately for these scoundrels, there are only enough safe handholds left for 3 people. One of them is going to be washed overboard. Question is, which one? It's up to you who fails to hang on. Once you've made your decision, pick them up and throw them overboard. Gone. Deep beneath the waves. Only 3 scoundrels left. Knowing them, their first thought is that this means a larger share of the treasure. There's no time to mourn or celebrate. You've survived. That's the Sunfish, the personal vessel of Solomon Sanko, governor of the Crown Islands. Ooh, he's taken a battering from the storm. Though, it's still in better condition than your poor ship. Wait, those aren't sailors. They're orcs! The most feared pirates in these seas. The governor and his captain are tied up on the deck. The orcs clearly don't want you interfering with their plans. Prepare to be boarded. Play this card on an ally within range to expend power pips and give them a boost. Free Governor Sanko, who is very grateful, and Captain Starlin, who is embarrassed he wasn't able to escape his bonds in time to help.
Your ship's in no shape to sail. You should come with us to the capital,
offers the governor. The governor's right. Your storm-battered vessel is headed to the bottom of the ocean. It seems the scoundrels have no choice but to bring their precious treasure aboard the Sunfish.
Excellent, says the governor. Take the cabin next to mine. When we get to Half Arch, you shall be properly rewarded for your bravery.
largest city of the Crown Islands. Home to fishers, traders, smugglers, artisans, privateers, and scoundrels.
Come with me,
insists Solomon Sanko. The governor is determined to make good on his promise. Later that day, after a feast in his estate, the governor surprises the scoundrels with something they never thought they'd experience: fame and glory.
All hail the heroes of Half Arch! Thomas Turlinger, brilliant apothecary dedicated to helping others. This is Hammer, warrior of true conviction and strength. And finally, Horatio Ninelives, the thrice blessed swordsman and charming conversationalist. So be sure to speak with him tonight. Without further ado, let us begin the Heroes' Celebration!
Ah, it's the heroes. Leaving already? That's a shame. May we meet again in equally joyful circumstances, Captain Starling says before excusing himself.
I hope you had a pleasant evening. The heroes of Half Arch are always welcome in this city,
says the governor before he's called back into the hall. After a round of farewells, the scoundrels slip away. Though they've lost one of their number, they've gained a second chance. They agree to split the treasure equally and go their separate ways. Time for your award. Choose a new ability and it's yours. The hammer shoves a few bars of solid gold into her rucksack before leaving Half Arch. She doesn't know what her future holds, but she's never been one for making plans. Thomas appraises the treasure with a keen eye, weighing his options before scooping several stacks of coins into pouches and leaving Half Arch. Horatio gathers the precious rings, amulets and earrings into his pack before returning to his party. Such things will prove useful in the upper echelons of society. And with that, the treasure chest is empty, and our scoundrels... heroes go their separate ways, vowing to put their scoundrel days behind them. And they did. Well, at least for some time. 7 years is a long time. Long enough to build a whole new, quieter life. Tonight the scoundrels return to Half Arch for the first time since that day.
Over here.
It's Governor Sanko.
Quickly, we may be watched.
A figure darts from the shadows and stabs the governor. This is very bad. You must find out why the governor summoned you. The governor is barely conscious and gravely wounded. Your scoundrel tends to him as best they can. A city watch patrol. This is not good timing. More city watch. They must have heard something while on guard duty on the West Dock. That's not good either. And then there's the governor's mysterious assailant. They're getting away. 3 problems. And only 2 of you left. Make a choice, quick! Your scoundrel will have to be fast to chase down the assassin before they get away. Your scoundrel darts forward and grabs the assassin's robe. Suddenly there's a bolt of lightning, and the assassin vanishes. Whoever it was, they have magic. Your scoundrel can talk the officers into heading back to their post before they spot the governor's body. Your scoundrel blurts out that the governor is just fine, which just makes the officers more suspicious. They push past and see his body. The governor coughs awake.
I thought if you were going to kill me, Hammer, you'd do it with your own hands. Oh, yes, I know about your past, about all of you, and soon everyone else will too.
And he takes his last ragged breaths. A quick search of the governor turns up a map of the islands with several locations marked, each one horribly familiar to one of the scoundrels. No time to wonder what the governor's words or map mean. The City Watch have seen the scoundrels with his dead body. You'll have to fight them off. fought off the watch, but it's only a matter of time before more come to investigate the commotion. You need to get out of Half Arch, and that means you need a ship. At the east docks is the governor's ship, the Sunfish. He doesn't need it anymore, but there are plenty across the Crown who'll recognise it, for good or ill. The scoundrels don't recognise the ship at the west docks. The guard probably means captured pirate or smuggler. Maybe good for laying low, but who knows who owns it. Whichever one you're going to take, now's the time to choose. The privateer militia, the Crown's navy of authorised pirates, has impounded what looks like a smuggling ship and captured one of its crew. It's called the Sawtooth. The scoundrels haven't heard of it. Hopefully no one else has either. The city watch officers noticed the scoundrels immediately. Hey, where are Terry and Neil? They must have done something to him. The chained smuggler is trying to get your attention. Maybe she can help you. Hey, you want this ship? So do I. Let me free and I'll sail it for you. She seems genuine, and you could pick that lock. The smuggler's chains dropped to the ground. Thanks, friend. I'm Anguilla. But let's save the introductions for after I get my ship back, eh? Yes! The sawtooth is free. Now, what do you want with my ship? The scoundrels explain they've been framed for a murder they didn't commit, and they need a ship to escape and catch the real killers. On the run, trying to prove your innocence. Never heard that one before and believed it. But, all right, you've got yourselves a first mate. Now, say the word and we'll set sail. Finally, let's get my sawtooth underway. Now, let's be clear, when this... Once clear of the docks, the scoundrels examine the map they found on the Governor. The marked locations are places from each scoundrel's past, a past they had hoped to leave behind. Let me see that. Anguilla snatches the map. I knew it. This is an old sailor's code on the back. I can figure out what it says, given a day or two. As you sail the Crown Islands, your choices won't just affect you. The consequences of your actions will be reported in the Crown Herald. The scoundrels have been set up, and killing those guards won't have helped their case. You're going to have to find out who framed you to clear your name. Who was the masked assassin? And who knew the scoundrel's secrets and told the Governor? Your scoundrels will need all the help they can get. Go on, pick an upgrade. While the code is deciphered, you have another clue to investigate. The Governor's map. Revisiting those places will be hard for the scoundrels, but it's your only lead. Thomas hasn't returned home in years. His manservant Wandsworth may know something. As night falls and the ship nears the Emerald, the crew fire a barrage of questions at Thomas. He holds up his hands for silence. He'll address each of them in his own time. Horatio quietly asks whether the potions Thomas sold really worked. Thomas is insulted. Of course they worked, though they may have had a few unintended side effects, and his research wasn't without incident. Horatio clasps Thomas's shoulder. He promises to keep any secrets they uncover. Thomas isn't entirely reassured. The Hammer wants to know if Thomas made any weapons here on the Emerald. He deflects by saying that there's nothing in this inventory that she would want. She gives him a cold look that says she knows how to break weapons she wouldn't use. My old crewmate Rosa used to sail with Captain Harrow round here. Rosa Devil Hand, we called her, 'cause her right hand was all weird. Story was that she got bitten off by a giant bug on the Emerald, and then someone helped her grow it back. Thomas asks about how Rosa's hand is now. Dead, like the rest of her, I hope. As the Emerald draws near, Thomas waves aside any further questions. He has more preparations to make before revisiting his one-time home. Thomas guides the ship into a water channel he knows well, despite the years since his last visit. Even in the darkness, the scoundrels can tell he's unsettled. Emerald Post, an out-of-place grand mansion built to resemble Thomas's family home. He is concerned the torches outside are dark. Before he can explain why that's a problem, a huge flaming insect flies into the clearing. As it flies towards the mansion, Thomas cries out. There are unstable chemicals in his lab. A normal flame won't set them off, but the fireflies burn hot. He calls out for Wandsworth, his loyal and trusted manservant, but there's no reply. Thomas explains his alchemical torches keep the insects away when they're lit. Normally, Wandsworth makes sure they're always burning. If you're going to find out what's happened, the scoundrels must light the torches and stop the flaming fireflies from entering the mansion. These alchemical torches require a complex procedure to light. Fortunately, there are instructions on the shell, assuming your scoundrel understands it. Your scoundrel has prepared the base chemicals. Now they need to prime the ignition mixture. That flaming firefly coming in from the west, it's transfixed by the blaze and flying towards the mansion. If it gets in there, the mansion will explode. They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other three. Uh-oh. Buzzing in from the east is a flaming firefly with eyes only for the mansion. If you don't stop it, the mansion will explode in a blaze. More insects emerge from the swamp to the east. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! The flaming firefly exploded safely away from the house. And yes, I realise that's an odd definition of the word safely, but the mansion is still standing. Mostly. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. The torch is nearly ready. Keep going. Uh-oh. The flaming firefly enters the mansion. Oh, amazingly, the mansion is still standing, but it won't withstand another blast like that. Don't let another firefly get in there. Yes, that's half the torch is lit. These insects seem to have noticed what the scoundrels are up to, and they don't seem pleased. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. More of the insects angrily emerge away from the torches. Better get them lit quick. More insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Nearly there. Just one more torch left to light. More insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. The torch is lit! That's all of them! The swamp fills with the smell of Thomas's alchemical repellent. It's a bit unpleasant for the scoundrels, but clearly much worse for the insects. Time to put out the fire and search what's left of the mansion. Which is, thankfully, quite a lot. Thomas heads inside, beating out the flames and calling for Wandsworth. There's no answer, but eventually he emerges. Charred note includes a sketch of a familiar figure. The assassins were here. But it's drawn next to a hastily written list of supplies. Wandsworth is, or was, alive and fled the island. There's also a piece of brilliant blue coral near the note. Thomas explains that he was studying it, believing it to have some special properties. It's supposed to be in a protective case. Why would Wandsworth remove it? Wandsworth couldn't have gotten far. In fact, there's only one place Thomas can think of. You'll have a chance to catch him if you move quickly. Fort Rasp, an old military outpost now home to the pirate Sebastian Harrow, one of Thomas's best customers back in the day. Wandsworth would have sought protection if anything happened here. Thomas directs the captain towards Fort Rasp, having been there before. But last time was more than 7 years ago, and in the company of pirates who made the abandoned naval outpost their home. It's too quiet. Even pirates sleeping between raids have lookouts, and we've seen no one. I'll keep the ship ready for a quick getaway. Watch your backs, you three. It seems your captain's instincts were right. The only pirates here are dead. Thomas examines a body, but there's no obvious cause of death. All he can say for certain is it happened recently.
Ahoy!
That shout came from the tower at the far end. As the scoundrels approach, Thomas recognizes the figure. It's Sebastian Harrow himself, though he's looking a bit worse for wear.
Who goes there? State your business.
Harrow seems pretty shaken. It's best if Thomas tries to talk him down.
Thomas? Thomas Terlinga? Is it ye? Ye old sorebones? You're here for Wandsworth, aren't you? Hold on. I'm coming down.
Just as Harrow reaches the bottom of the tower...
Blast! We have to get to your ship. I'll tell you all about your man once we're safely away. Come on, you gallows monkeys.
Before the group can get too far, the ground shakes and the dead pirates rise.
We're gonna be fighting our way out.
Harrow is right. The only way out is through those things. Pick your path wisely. The coral here is tough, but also brittle. Hit it hard enough and your scoundrel can break through. Cracks appear in the surface of the solid coral wall. It's weakening. This weird coral must have infected all of the pirates. Your scoundrel smashed it. They're one step closer to the exit. If Harrow had his axe, he'll be able to break the barrier quicker.
Come here, beard biter, me old mate.
Harrow was talking to his axe, which isn't at all strange.
Come here, beard biter, me old mate.
Harrow was talking to his axe, which isn't at all strange.
At last, my arm is complete again. Now, I'll take you blue bastards down on me way up.
You know the score. Break it down. Keep hitting it. It's going to smash soon. The way's clear. Well done. Uh-oh. Looks like these things can pop out of the coral anywhere they want.
Huh. Your scoundrels can't kill them all.
They have to get out of here. That's one big coral. How did they even grow to that size? You might want to get the other scoundrels to help. The coral may be big, but it cracks just like the others. Quick, break it down before you're overwhelmed by the infected. The wall is down, and just in the nick of time. Thomas notices the coral isn't growing on the wooden wharf. He starts to come up with a theory, but there isn't time. The others push him onwards. You took your bloody time. Come on then. What are you waiting for? They jumped straight up out of the water. Looks like you're not quite safe yet. Pirates did Harrow have in his crew? No wonder he was unstoppable. The monsters are gonna keep coming. Get to the ship. The monsters are gonna keep coming. Get to the ship. The scoundrels make a break for it. Come on, time to cut and run. Anguilla tips her hat at the pirate. Welcome aboard, Harrow. Don't you be getting any ideas about who's captain here. Harrow claps Thomas on the back.
You saved me life. I thank ye. I'll tell you about Wandsworth as promised. 'Twere only yesterday when it happened. He came, said someone was after him. And he was right. Bastards destroyed me ship and took your man. Something were off about him. Wandsworth kept scratching himself. And the day after they're gone,
my crew turned. He and Wandsworth studied similarly blue corals long ago, but they locked it away when the experiments made it dangerous. Now it seems clear Wandsworth has been colonised by it, and it's using him to spread. A colonised vector is brain dead. They're still living bodies completely controlled by the coral's polyps. It doesn't know how to talk, yet by all accounts, Wandsworth was lucid and talking, so maybe he can still be cured. I don't pretend to understand half of what you've said about these colonists, but it sounds like we must... It's the Alchemist Guild's underwater flagship, the Rorqual. It's got your ship in a vice grip. For now, it seems you're trapped. Ahoy there! Now this is an understandable misunderstanding to be sure, but have you considered you got the wrong ship, Captain Pernell Conroy? I believe you have Thomas Turlinger on board. He's wanted for illegal human experimentation. Turn him over, and you can be on your way. There you are. We turned a blind eye to your dangerous experiments for too long, Turlinger. Before Thomas can say anything, he spots a familiar face among the alchemists.
Welcome back, sir. Though it appears we've found ourselves in a bit of a pickle.
It's Wandsworth himself. So the Rorqual was at Fort Rasp. Thomas needs to get Wandsworth back. But how? He only has a moment to decide. Perhaps, if Thomas is fast enough, you can tip the odds with a single shot. Oops. Good thing Thomas isn't dueling in a western. Is that your answer? Very well. Attack! Thomas has to get to Wandsworth before it's too late. Reinforcements from below decks are coming up to join the fight. More reinforcements! How many alchemists are hiding down there? Thomas breathes a sigh of relief. Wandsworth is still alive.
Thank you for coming all this way, sir. But I'm afraid it's far too late for me.
Wandsworth pulls down his collar to reveal his neck. The coral infection has reached his spine. Wandsworth hands him a notebook.
I trust you'll be able to make sense of this. Now, if you'll indulge me in one final request, please allow me to die as Wandsworth, faithful servant of Thomas Turlinger.
Thomas needs to secure their escape, and the infection in Wandsworth could do to the Rorqual what it did to Fort Rasp. Wandsworth deserves so much more. Ensuring he doesn't turn into a coral creature is the least Thomas can do.
If this is what you require of me, I understand, sir. Farewell.
It's done. The Rorqual is finished. Get back to your ship before you are overrun. You've cleared the deck! Use this opportunity to escape! This is it! You can leave the Rorqual behind now.
Blimey, is this what you've been up to all this time? I thought I was going to be feeding the fishes. You got grog in your cabins? Well, I'll be helping myself.
Thomas looks at the Rorqual as it sinks, the deck completely overrun by colonists. He reflects on his manservant's last moments. He did what he had to do to escape. He has to continue moving forward. The people of the Crown. No one will. Wandsworth's notes reveal he had figured out the Mastermind's goal: to bring about the end of the world. Wait, there's more. According to this, the Mastermind holds a grudge against the scoundrels. This confirms that the Mastermind is someone from the scoundrels' past. As they sail on, the captain signals for one of the scoundrels to come over. I know you ain't telling me everything, but I won't pry. I deciphered the note, and they're telling the governor to throw you lot in jail. But Governor Sanko met with them instead. Was that why he was assassinated and the scoundrels framed, so they'd still end up in prison? While you ruminate on what this means, pick a new ability for your scoundrels. Memories of her last visit flood back to the hammer. She tenses up. The others notice. She tries to distract herself by speaking with them. So you was a red hat, eh? Don't look so surprised. How else would you know where to find Shadeport? I ain't judging ya. Question is, will they be happy to see you? The hammer grimaces, confirming the smuggler's suspicions. Horatio starts telling stories of his tragic youth and rise to fame, and the hammer listens happily enough, though she knows better than to believe his tales. For as long as they've known each other, the hammer has almost never told a lie, while Horatio has almost never told the truth. Upon learning the hammer was an orphan, Thomas is curious about the life of a street urchin. What do they eat? Where do they sleep? How do they stay warm at night? The hammer shakes her head at this barrage of ignorant questions. As the cove of Shadeport comes into view, the hammer clenches her fists. she'll get her answers. One punch at a time. Shadeport is a hidden harbour used by smugglers, pirates and criminals when they can't safely dock in Half Arch. Right now, you're in the same boat. So to speak. The Hammer's been here before, and she thinks it's the best place for leads on the whereabouts of her old boss, Patrick Quick. Hammer! It's Paca, a smuggler she knows from her gang days. You have to leave. They're here waiting for you. These are members of Patrick Quick's gang, the Red Hats. There she is, and she has friends. The gang members barely notice your ship. The Sawtooth fits right in here. A Red Hat sniper. But firearms are strictly controlled by the Alchemists Guild. And why doesn't that rifle make any noise? New gunpowder? Kraken's blood. Paca, distraught over her friend's death, asking for her help will probably require some convincing. Your scoundrel should be able to push this crate, providing cover as you get closer to the sniper. Still a ways to go, but the crate is holding up as cover. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. There are plenty more Red Hats where those came from. Better get out of here. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. 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 Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. It's a tough but short climb up to the sniper. A nimble scoundrel could sneak up behind them and take them out. The sniper doesn't notice your scoundrel until it's too late. With the sniper gone, maybe you can convince Packer to smuggle you onto Ruby Island, where Quick's Lieutenant Weevil is in prison. He's sure to know something. Packer is still shocked from her friend's death. Your scoundrel will have to snap her out of it before she'll take you out to the island. Packer shakes her head, but looks a little less frightened. Keep trying. She's coming round. Keep talking. Packer is still shocked from her friend's death. Your scoundrel will have to snap her out of it before she'll take you out to the island. Packer is still shocked from her friend's death. Your scoundrel will have to snap her out of it before she'll take you out to the island. Your scoundrel mentions getting revenge against Quick. Ha! That does the trick. Packer steels herself and nods. We'll take the skiff. Follow me. All aboard! Everyone keep your hands inside the skiff. The water's gonna get hot where we're going. Off to the Ruby prison. Time to find out what Weevil knows. steam rises its waters, boiled by the island's volcano, fencing in the prisoners better than any wall. The only safe place to land is this dock, protected by the imposing guard tower. The guards clearly know Packer well and quickly agree to her request. Packer waits outside with her skiff, and the scoundrels enter the workyard. Visitors? What a surprise. The Hammer instantly recognizes Weevil from her days working for the gang, and he recognizes her too. Thanks for coming all this way, Hammer, just to see little old me. We was told you might pop by. I'm a little busy for a chat, but me crew here will sort you out. Permanently. Oh, looks like this was a trap. You'll have to get past these goons if you want to find out what Weevil knows. Get good thugs these days. You lot, protect me. Weevil flees to another group of prisoners. Running with a tough mob these days, eh, Hammer? I'm impressed, but these crims have been doing hard labour for years. And you won't crack 'em. Get 'em, gang. Seems the guards have had enough of this riot. It's too bad they're not on your side. as you're already suspected for the murder of government officials, more of them ending up dead around you will look... No, those useless dogs were my mates. Why did you have to kill them all? Weevil's rattled now. He runs to higher ground, but really he's trapped himself with nowhere to go. If words fail, perhaps the fist will help. The hammer knows how to make a coward like Weevil talk, if he lives. All right! Don't kill me! The hammer pauses, and just for a second, it isn't clear what she'll do. But then, she releases Weevil. Quick's made a deal with some alchemists working outside the guild. They're making him some kind of silent gunpowder. The tower's open. If you leave now, you can beat them to the diamond. Diamond, I... Despite its brilliant white sand, the Diamond is an ironic name. It's a tiny, worthless island. No one has any reason to come here, which makes it perfect for those looking to make shady deals. Light a signal when you're done, says Packer. Thanks to Weevil, the scoundrels got here before Quick, allowing them to find a hiding spot. The one with the especially tall red hat is Patrick Quick. He'll have answers, according to the Hammer. They're discussing the silent gunpowder deal. Most of the goods must still be on board the alchemist's ship. Once they know you're here, the advantage is lost. So make the most of the opportunity by choosing a scoundrel to distract them. The scoundrel gets their attention, but not quite all of it. The assembled criminals spot the rest of the scoundrels. Why? If it isn't Hammer. Found some new friends, have you? Well, we'll kill them too. Remember why you came here. You need to find out who's behind all this. No point trying to be careful now. Your scoundrel can climb up here if they wish. There's a lot of silent gunpowder on the other ship. Quick's cannon could blow the whole lot to smithereens. Just the few... Wow! If only these alchemists put their energy into fireworks instead of weaponry. With the last goon down, the hammer revives Quick and throws him onto the white sand.
You win, Hammer. I'll talk. I don't know who's behind all this, but I do know who they're working with. You can't reach whoever's running the show. They've occupied the cursed nation of Bastoia beyond the reef, working on something with something. Not of this world, as far as I can tell.
Before the scoundrels can process Quick's information, Anguilla pulls up at Diamond Island with Packer on board. Seems Quick won't be needing his ship anymore, would he? As the others board the ship, the hammer glares at Quick. It's time to decide his fate. Does she have Packer hand Quick over to the authorities? With a last glare at Quick, the hammer chains him up for Packer. You know, the Crown Guard and me ain't all friendly, yeah? But I'm liking the idea of the bastard rotting in jail. So I'll think of something. The hammer doesn't say anything as the diamond close the book on her troubled past. Once they figure out who the mastermind is, I mean. It seems Packer kept her word and handed Patrick Quick to the authorities. What happened on the island didn't go unnoticed. Hopefully no one saw the scoundrels. According to Patrick Quick, the mastermind has occupied the island nation Bastoia. How do they sail through the treacherous reef? Ship ahoy! Look to port! You can't see anyone on deck. At least no one living. What's going on? This doesn't seem like a coincidence. Better investigate and find out what's going on. As the scoundrel approaches one of the bodies, shadows coalesce across the deck into monstrous forms. With their enemies defeated, the scoundrels take a moment to investigate the ship. Judging by their clothes, they were refugees from the island of Pistoia. What were those shadow creatures? And why did they kill the refugees? While you put the clues together, choose an upgrade for your scoundrel. You've found more questions than answers. There's nothing more for you here. The scoundrels leave the ship floating dead in the water. The village is infamous for being ravaged by orcs many years ago, when Horatio was there. As the ship nears Tide Reef, Horatio, who has been quiet, takes a deep breath and buries his nerves below his usual grin and swagger. Time to talk. The Hammer thinks Horatio looted the village after the raid. She doesn't care. Protect the living, leave the dead, that's her way. Still, can't be easy coming back, she thinks. Horatio says nothing, only nods. Thomas has drawn lines and symbols around Tide Reef on a map, but he can't see why orcs would come here. Did Horatio see anything useful when he was last here? Horatio answers truthfully. No, nothing. So, you was running your hero con here, yeah? I know the deal. Set up a patsy as a bandit or whatever. Beat him in combat. Rake in the praise and the free meals and such. Lucky you missed the orc raid, eh? Horatio nods, muttering something about luck. Horatio spends the rest of the short journey in silence. You don't have to lie if you keep your mouth shut. Tide Reef, built in the fork of the Velvet River. Looks pretty good for a village that was almost razed to the ground by orcs only 7 years ago. Horatio is nervous, but as soon as he notices the others looking, he puts on his usual bravado and strides across the bridge to find the village square full of goblarks trying to capture the villagers. One of the villagers in particular attracts Horatio's attention, and his bravery dissolves. Horatio really doesn't want to be noticed. Let's see if he can make it to those trees before the villagers see him. Horatio nimbly scarpers into the trees and vanishes. Even the other scoundrels can't spot him in there. The woman who'd spooked Horatio turns just as he disappears. She shakes her head before shoving away the goblark trying to shackle her. Whatever Horatio was doing, it's clear the other scoundrels are going to have to step up. They cross the bridge, quickly assessing the situation. These villagers are determined to fight, but they're no warriors. They're gonna get themselves killed. Your scoundrel can see the villagers' distrust and anger fading as the words hit home. They drop their improvised weapons and flee. Goblarks are weird. They don't feel fear, but they recognize the strong, like the orcs, and perhaps your scoundrel. The Goblarks look at each other and seem to be disagreeing about something. Who knows what it is, but some of them ran off. Angry at being ignored, the lead Goblark shouts something unintelligible and kills its hostage. The remaining villagers are horrified. The Goblarks are done waiting. The battle for Tide Wreath is on. With the last of the Goblarks dispatched, the battle is won. The Tide Wreath's problems aren't done yet.
Come on, coward. You're safe now. And I know you recognize me.
It's the woman who spooked Horatio.
You haven't changed.
She turns to the other scoundrels.
I'm Zainab.
My father ran the inn until he was slaughtered with the rest of the village, after the great Horatio Nine Lives went outside, promising to save us. And now you show up, just as it's all happening again? The orcs have landed on the beach and sent goblarks into the sea caves. You're going to help set things right.
She suddenly chains herself to a guilty-looking Horatio, using one of the goblark's shackles.
No more hiding for you. Wherever you go, I go, until my home is safe.
Zainab glances around the village.
I won't lie. I'm surprised you've saved so many already. But I'm watching you.
It's clear she doesn't know anything about the scoundrels. Maybe the orcs know something. Zainab shows you the way to the sea cave, where the orcs have returned for whatever they left behind 7 years ago. It's time to go. This cave lies under the tide line, safe only for an hour or so each day, so it's always been off limits, especially since the orcs visited it during the raid.
We tried to come down to see what the orcs were after, but we didn't find anything and nearly drowned. No one's been here since. Wait, those things are new?
Zainab is referring to the things being collected by goblarks. Weird yellow spherical objects that remind Horatio of something. You'll have to get closer to find out what they are. But you're already close enough for the goblarks to notice you. The spherical things seem jelly-like in nature. Your scoundrels should be able to figure out what they are, given time. close, the objects are translucent. They only look like eyes from a distance. Your scoundrel wants to get a good look at what's inside. Keep examining them. Your scoundrel nearly got a glimpse of what's inside. Keep poking. Your scoundrel turns the jelly-like sphere around and finally gets a good look at what's inside. A one-eyed, serpentine beast. Horatio cries out, recognizing what they are. But there's no time to talk. These things are eggs, and they are hatching. The goblarks who were collecting the eggs notice the hatchlings and, with only a glance between them, flee the cave.
These things could destroy Tidereath. We mustn't let them run free.
Zainab's priorities are clear and make sense. But the goblarks and their orc masters might get away, and they might know who's behind the scoundrel's predicament. What are the goblarks and orcs planning to do with those eggs? Is the one behind the scoundrel's predicament involved? With Horatio chained to her, the scoundrels aren't going anywhere.
Tidereath was already destroyed once. I'm not leaving these things here for it to happen again.
It's going to take more before she turns her back on these spawnlings.
Even if the orcs are planning something worse, we still can't leave these things here.
Zainab is starting to doubt herself. The tide is rising quickly. The scoundrels only have so long before they're trapped here to drown as the cave fills with water. The hatchlings don't have that problem, so if you're going to kill them, do it quickly.
All right, you win. Whatever the orcs are doing, it could make them strong enough to come back and kill us all anyway. Let's go.
Deciding it's best not to wait around in case Zainab has a change of heart, the scoundrels get going. Hopefully in time to interrupt whatever foul plan the orcs have for those eggs. That's them! The scoundrels will never forget what the orcs looked like since they rescued late Governor Sanko from them 7 years ago. Wait, they're leaving!
You have a ship, don't you?
Knowing what Zainab is getting at, the scoundrels take off toward their ship.
You know what those things in the cave are, don't you?
Zainab asks Horatio as they ran. He nods, explaining that it's in one of the stories he used to tell. Only unlike the other stories, this one is based on the truth.
Phew, that was a close one.
Did you know there was orc ships here? Good thing I hid the sawtooth, or he would have... Hang on, why is that woman chained to you? We're sailing towards the orc pirates. I hope you know what you're doing. As they chase after the orcs, Horatio continues his story. According to the legend, the Kraken, one-eyed god of the sea and storms, sired many enormous monsters called Krakenspawn, including Tiamat, the serpent. Those hatchlings were her offspring. Though small, they were still the grandchildren of a god. Why is that woman chained to you? We're sailing towards the orc pirates. I hope you know what you're doing. As they chase after the orcs, Horatio continues his story. According to the legend, the Kraken, one-eyed god of the sea and storms, sired many enormous monsters called Krakenspawn, including Tiamat, the serpent. Those hatchlings were her offspring. Though small, they were still the grandchildren of a god, or so the stories say. Why would the orcs be after them? Ship ahead! Wait, what are the orcs doing? Those orcs, did they really just dive into the fell sea? Well, if this is their home, it certainly explains why nothing seems to be alive out here. Peering into the water, the scoundrels can see some kind of shape below the waves. But it's impossible to tell what from up here. Well, I have diving helmets and belts in the sawtooth. If you was thinking of swimming after murderous sea creatures, I'll go scavenging down at the sunken shipwrecks sometimes. Horatio is the last to don his helmet, which doesn't go unnoticed by Zainab.
What's the matter? Never been underwater on one of your heroic adventures?
Without waiting for an answer, she jumps overboard, taking Horatio with her. As their eyes adjust to the gloom, the scoundrels make out the enormous maw of a huge, dead, one-eyed shark. This can only be the legendary Branchia, another of Kraken's children, whose stories say died long ago. Why did the orcs need Tiamat's eggs? A goblark swims forward with one of the eggs. The orc warlock makes a savage gesture, and the goblark dies, plunging into the creature's guts. With Tiamat's egg, there is a flicker of life, well, and death, in the eye of the beast. And the purpose of all this becomes horrifyingly clear. The orcs mean to reanimate Branchia.
Ritual nearly over. You die here.
You have to stop the goblarks from delivering Tiamat's eggs into the beast's mouth.
Village girl. You know, stop us now.
Zainab, realizing this is the orc who led the massacre on Tide Reef years ago, swims towards him. Horatio has no choice but to go with her.
Not last, orc. Not last. Fight.
With a final breath, the captain shuts his eye. Goblark is halfway to Branchia's mouth. There's no time to lose. You stopped the Goblark! However, another Goblark emerges from the gloom carrying an egg. They seem to have an endless supply of eggs and sacrificial Goblarks. go, Blark. But this won't stop until you take out that orc warlock. When the warlock dies, the others stop their ritual. It worked, though they're now all focused on you. The last of your enemies fall, and not a moment too soon. The scoundrels are running out of air. Time to head back to the surface. As they remove their helmets, Zainab steps forward, offering something she had tucked into her belt.
You helped me, so, well, I found this. Maybe it'll help you.
It's the Orc Captain's journal. Zainab must have pinched it from his corpse. Back on Tide Reef, Zainab disembarks, then turns and fixes Horatio with a hard look.
I guess you've changed. For the better, even. But I don't owe you thanks. Or forgiveness. Don't ever come back here.
Then she's gone. The orcs where to find Branchia's grave. But there's something else. Whoever it was also works with a group of assassins called the Arms of the Kraken. And their symbol is identical to the one on the governor's assassin's mask. That confirms that the human collaborator and the person the scoundrels are after are one and the same. Yet another atrocity assigned to the scoundrels. Zainab must have tipped off the Herald. Here's hoping the authorities don't find you. All that to put a name on the governor's assassins and how they fit in the picture. Your scoundrels don't get much time to ponder their next move. Look lively! Ship ahead! Less than a mile ahead is a vessel you never imagined you'd see again. Captain Frost's old ship sunk 7 years ago. Just like its captain. Your scoundrels don't get much time to ponder their next move. Look lively! Ship ahead! Less than a mile ahead is a vessel you never imagined you'd see again. Captain Frost's old ship sunk 7 years ago. Just like its captain. Captain Frost? I heard she went overboard 7 years ago. How can this be her ship? But there it is. back from the deep and sailing away with a full crew. Wait, the crew? They're arms of the Kraken! Could Frost have been behind this all along? There's only one way to find out. As you follow her ship, it becomes clear it's headed for a location all too familiar to the scoundrels. Everything is finally coming together. Select a new ability for your scoundrels. Only one destination left. When it becomes clear that Frost's ship is definitely headed to Storm Island, the captain looks at the scoundrels with concern. I've seen some crazy things since I set sail with you lot. And if we're going to face the endless storm, I need to know you've got my back. And each other's. I know we're not exactly buddies, but are we in this together or what? After a moment of awkwardness, the hammer clears her throat. She's usually not one to break the silence, not with her words anyway. But today's different. She'll speak today. They make a deal. The hammer will use her fists to protect the three of them, and Thomas will keep healing their wounds. They've been through enough together to know that each will honor their deal to the very end. Thomas is usually the first to speak. His mind is his weapon after all, and his ideas are generally superior. Not this time, though. He now regards the others his equal. Thomas tells Horatio he reminds him of Wandsworth, his late manservant. And Horatio isn't sure how to take it at first. But when Thomas explains that Wandsworth was his only friend, Horatio nods. He feels the same way. The usually chatty Horatio is silent for a while. He is thinking that he'll be honest for a change. No need for masks or tall tales with this group. Not anymore. The hammer and Horatio regard one another for a moment. They may be complete opposites in many ways, but they've come to understand, even respect the other. When the time comes, they'll gladly fight back to back once again. That's what I wanted to hear. Now that I know we have each other's backs, let's finish this. The scoundrels gather behind the captain, and together they steer the ship into the endless storm. scoundrels came here with Captain Frost 7 years ago. A fitting venue for a reunion. Temple of the Kraken and the non-proverbial Eye of the Storm, the mythical source of the island's constant, endless storm. Frost has to be here somewhere. Best spread out and start investigating. The statue has an ominous message carved into its side. Ask, and you shall receive a gift from the past, a gift from the future, and a gift from the present. But be warned, the price of greed is eternity. That's Nuna, the fourth scoundrel when she was washed overboard 7 years ago. Why would the Eye show them the last moments of their dead friend? The other statues look exactly the same as the first. They even have the same message carved onto it. The crown in ruins. Could Wandsworth be right about the end of the world? The first vision was of the past, the second one of the future. The next gift from the Eye must be of the present. Nuna again, this time in front of a Bastoian temple. Before the scoundrels can decide what to do, a figure emerges from the shadows. It's Captain Frost herself. There's been a horrible mistake. She's going to ruin everything. No, stop! An agent of the arms of the Kraken activates the last statue, and then... The endless storm is now so powerful, even the temple interior is affected. At this rate, you'll never leave the island alive. Oh, this must be what it meant by the price of greed is eternity. The shadows around the temple coalesce into monstrous forms, the way they did on the abandoned ship not too long ago. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. Frost is not dead yet, but she's barely hanging on. You'll need to take out your enemies and weaken the storm if you want to leave. There is a crackle of electricity in the air. The Eye of the Storm is summoning the arms of the Kraken. Wait, these assassins seem different somehow. Like they've been corrupted by the shadow. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... statue won't budge, not even an inch. They'll need to try again, perhaps from a different angle? A surge of wind sweeps across the temple. Watch out! Try not to be in the water when the lightning strikes. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... You need to take out the Eye of the Storm. There is a crackle of electricity in the air. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... It's still not shifting. Perhaps with a pivot next time? You need to take out the Eye of the Storm. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... A surge of wind sweeps across the temple. Watch out! Try not to be in the water when... This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... There! It moved! I think. Try again to be sure. There is a crackle of electricity in the air. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... to take out the Eye of the Storm. A surge of wind sweeps across the temple. Watch out! Try not to be in the water when the lightning strikes. This statue appears to be powering the Eye of the Storm. Perhaps if you can move the statue... You did it! The Endless Storm is weakening. Only one thing left to do before you can leave. As the last enemy fall, the scoundrels turn their attention to Captain Frost. If there's someone with all the answers, it's her. This map will guide you through the reef to Bestoya. Hurry. And with that, she breathes her last. Well, this is it. The scoundrels know everything now. All that remains is to confront their past one last time. Their old friend, the fourth scoundrel. So, is it over? Sawtooth nearly ran aground when the waves grew. If you say so. Now, you might want to hold on tight. Watch your backs out there. Who knows what we'd find on Bestoya? There must be a reason why nobody from the Crown Islands ever explored it. Amidst the ruins of a temple is an unnatural phenomenon, a rift in space and time. Nuna is known for her dark sorcery, so this must be her work. As soon as they step through the portal, a sense of dread floods their minds. Something doesn't feel right, but they can't leave yet.
Welcome to the realm outside, children. Home to the thing outside.
That's Nuna. Something tells you the thing outside is not someone you want to meet.
Patience. Soon everyone will know true peace.
Because everyone will cease to exist, Nuna conveniently leaves out. You have to stop her. Wait, how did the scoundrels get separated? This is bad. You need to find another way to stop whatever this is. What is that at the back? The scoundrels can't explain it, but somehow they know it's bad news. Catastrophically bad news. Something's going on with the arms of the Kraken assassin. It's protected by a barrier, so you can't hurt them. But you can speak to them. The assassin doesn't say anything. Yet somehow, your scoundrel knows that these assassins are a conduit to the Kraken, the storm god. How did your scoundrel know that? Another one comes up. The supernatural sense of dread grows stronger. The scoundrels instinctively know they must not let it reach the portal. They are met with silence. But something suddenly becomes clear. Your scoundrels are absorbing knowledge from the shadows, a side effect of merely existing in this realm. The assassin looks in your scoundrel's eye as if to say, I will help you if you can convince the others. More silence. But once again, knowledge seeps into your scoundrel's mind. In order to rip open a portal between realms, the power of 2 gods are needed. The assassin turns away from Nuna, and somehow your scoundrel knows they have persuaded them to join your side. The thing outside is one god. The Kraken is the other. That's how Nuna opened this rift in space and time. The assassin nods, as if acknowledging that they're being used by Nuna, and will now turn against her. Those things at the back, those are the fingers of the thing outside. They absolutely must not reach the portal. Now that the others have agreed to rebel, this assassin decides to do the same. Without a single word, they launch a coordinated attack on Nuna. Nuna's protective barrier is gone. Not only that, the assassins have created a way for you to reach her.
Rebellious children, why do you fight me? Don't you know I'm doing this for you?
On her last breath. The moment her heart stops, the portal will close, trapping the scoundrels forever. There's no time to waste. Run!
Silly child. Do you think I'll perish so easily? Oh, can you feel it? The thing outside? She's here.
The realm outside terrifies Horatio, and he wants to run. But he can't do that this time. He's the only one left. Pushing down his fear, he readies his sword. Without light, the realm outside is cold and dark and hungry. But the mortal world is saved. The other two scoundrels waited for days before accepting the truth. Their friend is gone. They've stopped caring about that. It's no big loss. It never felt right when they were lauded as heroes. True, they might be more hero-like these days, but it doesn't matter. After all, they're scoundrels.